you try to drive in the future using a rear view mirror to guide yourself, I got news for you, you're gonna crash. You have to be able to look forward and create what you want, even if you've never been able to do it before. If you just tried it and it didn't work, this moment is new. Something about you is new. You made a new distinction, something you may be unaware of. Maybe the environment's changed. Maybe you just need to change your approach. But you gotta believe that you can, because the only reason to say you can't is you think you've tried everything, which is a lie, or you believe that it just has never worked before. The past does not equal the future unless you live there. If you live in the past, then I guarantee your future will be the same way.
Information without emotion is rarely maintained. So one of the things we want to do is when you're learning in the traditional sense, there's not enough emotion in your nervous system. There's not even enough emotion, there's not enough energy. If there's one thing we have to be successful, I'm wasting my time and I'd be wasting yours if all we do is continue to talk this way. The reason is, it might be interesting, as we go through some of the strategies, you'll probably be excited, write them down. But in this level of energy, here's what happens. Whatever state you're in when you're learning, it gets linked to what you're learning. So if you're sitting here and you're really comfortable and you're kind of enjoying this and going, wow, this is pretty good, or wow, that's really interesting, or that could be really valuable, or damn, he has big teeth, or whatever you're thinking right now in your head. If you're doing that in a passive state, then later on when you go to do something, you go, yeah, I'm really gonna do this, this is really gonna happen. And there's just no energy for it. So the less energy you have, the less likely you follow through and use something. How many follow here? Say I. There's nothing more valuable than energy. Nothing moves without it. There's 3 P's that you gotta annihilate, crush, or destroy if they're getting in the way of your progress in a relationship, or your career, or your happiness, or your health. These are the 3 P's that make learned helplessness. Number 1, you think the problem is permanent. Once you've had enough disappointment, sometimes your brain doesn't want to get disappointed, so it's a permanent problem. Please write down, no problem is permanent, only your soul is permanent. Nothing's forever. Everything changes, everything eventually ends, and something new begins. That's part of life. Those are the seasons of life. The second key that keeps people in learned helplessness so they don't change, this belief's got to be annihilated, broken through, and that it's pervasive. That means that because my relationship's not great, my whole life is horrible. Then you're forgetting you do have health, or you do have friends, or you do have a job, or you do have whatever. I can breathe. And the third one is we think the problem is personal. There's something wrong with me. And if you start believing that, it becomes self-fulfilling. You give up. See, I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not smart enough. I always screw it up. So those 3 P's got to be destroyed.
There's several days I don't want to do shit. I procrastinate like a motherfucker. This is one of those days, man. I put my shoes and my socks and my shorts on every day. Woke up this morning, just stared at them. Didn't want to do shit. Didn't know why I was doing this shit. A lot of times we forget just how badass we are. So what I do, and I've done for so many years, I write down. I've been writing, so this book right here, this is just about a 3-year book, but I've been writing down for years what I do. So I open up to a page today, look at it, and I go through looking at 18 miles, 16 miles, 17 miles, 15 miles, 16, 116 mile week. 123 mile week, 20, 18, 16, all by myself, training alone, fucking push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, all this shit I write down here to remind me of the work I put into the craft that is myself. So we have to always remember our purpose will always be there. I have nothing in front of me right now. No race, no nothing. But the purpose is myself. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to fucking do it. So you be the motherfucker that always gets it done. Stay hard. All right, so Goggins, how do I keep from quitting? Well, just so you know, man, there's a start line to quitting. And usually that start line, it starts when people show up to any endeavor being out of shape, not in the best shape of their lives. Have you ever seen a fighter and the guy that he's fighting is in real good shape, and the other person looks gassed? He only has one thought in his mind, and that's quitting. That's all he has. Being out of shape, it limits all of your fucking options. So showing up to any endeavor in the best shape of your life, what that does is it opens up all of your fucking options. And the biggest option that it gives me when I show up that way is, all right, I'm in the best shape of my life. How can I get the body-mind connection going better for me? People don't know how to turn their minds on. People don't know about this bolts and logs, why I say it, why I start yelling. I'm trying to activate something. I'm trying to activate passion, want, hunger, the dog, the savage. That motherfucker's falling asleep. When I show up knowing I'm in the great shape, I can wake that savage beast up. You gotta learn yourself, know how to wake yourself up. But if you don't show up in the best shape of your life, your mind is worthless to you, so your savage is fucking dead. Stay hard.
We are training kids and people to be soft in a world that continuously gets harder. And it doesn't correlate. Like that guy talking about the tear gas with the SEALs. Is that necessary? I don't know. But what is necessary is you have to build a person that can withstand the pressures of whatever they're going to be dealing with in life. And we don't do that. We all think about quitting when shit's hard. It's hard to process information during pain because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, I start thinking logically. I calm my brain down because your brain just wants to get the fuck out. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here, and I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds, and I have to learn to control these, because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the fuck it is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, fuck you, I run this motherfucker.
If I was 19 years old today, what industries would I be looking at? I would be looking at the ones that are going to grow the most and make the most money. I wouldn't look at what I'm passionate about. Like, I'm not going to be a football player. The chances of getting rich at football are negligible to none. Your longevity in business, in a great business, for instance, healthcare. Healthcare is 19% of the GDP. $4 trillion will be spent on healthcare. We're 200,000 nurses short in America. We started a business 2.5 years ago. It was making a couple $100,000 a year. It's going to make $25 million this year. Bam! If I'd have known that, I'd be like, shit, man, let me just learn about the healthcare space. I don't even need to be a doctor or a nurse. I just need to learn about the space and how to market. Second thing I would be doing today is you got to look at this AI thing like it's real. Most people are not going to learn about the AI. They're going to read about it. Somebody's going to use it to facilitate it for businesses. Third business would be marketing. Nobody knows how to market their products and services. Four, I would look at real estate. Real estate is going to last for thousands of years. It's been working since Jesus and Moses. It's going to keep working.
You got to have targets. The thing that probably gets me through everything is this. Where am I going? You know, what is the target? I can do anything for a short period of time if it gets me to a target significant enough to change and improve the quality of my life. I can do almost anything as long as the target's big enough and changes my life and the lives of other people.
You can do this, I guarantee you'll be rich. You need to get your income not to what pays your bills, but to where you can say 40% of your gross income is saved. If you make $10,000 a month and you want to save $40,000 of it, you would pay yourself first. The government doesn't let you do that. They don't trust you. They're like, no, get that money from him first before he blows it. We know he's going to blow it. We know the IRS is going to withhold $4,000 of it. If you'll pay the freaking IRS $4,000 of 10, you need to figure out how to pay yourself $4,000. What's the problem here? You got to live on two. That's why when I was 35 years old, no one knew that I was a millionaire. Nothing had changed. I was still running with shoes, buying $40 shoes and working a shirt out as long as I could. I didn't have fancy cars. I'm driving a Camry with $1 million in the bank.
You work, you'll never create wealth. Okay, you want to write this down. Well, no matter how hard you work, okay, Kevin can work his ass off. He can work 20 hours a day. He will never create wealth for it. He will only create wealth when he invests.